Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It is a Friday night, and no, we don't normally stream tonight. But we have a Krayt Cup Game 1 for our Round 2 with Charles versus Tommy. Welcome to the stream, folks. They're just getting set up, so hopefully in a few minutes here, we will... Oh, yeah, hey, look, they're going to roll for first person. So they must have got my notice that we are live. With that being said, they're going to roll for who's first player, because that's the rules of the cup. And it looks like Charles gets first player. We don't actually know if that matters, other than for rock placement, but we will see. With that being said, yeah, so he's got Covenal, which is a 4, Poe, and Neonub. I think Neonub is a 4 as well. Nope, Neonub's a 5. Good old that. And R2-D2 is a 2. Yep, so really the player order is somewhat inconsequential in this matchup. So tonight for our Krayt Cup, we have Tommy. And Tommy comes to us with a resistance list. He has Covenal with Heroic, Leia Organa Crew, and an R4 Astromech. Pretty typical loadout for Covenal. Poe Dameron with Predator, Overdrive Thrusters, and Advanced Proton Torpedoes. And then Neonub with Predator, Pattern Analyzer, and Advanced Proton Torpedoes. So it looks like he's going to try to get in close, do a hit and run is my guess with the 2 X-Wings, and try to get out of there. Now that hopefully he does do that a little bit and can't delete too many ships, because in the long run that will benefit Charles, because Charles is running a Galactic Republic list tonight. Basically the same one he ran last week when we did our other Krayt Cup. He is running R2-D2 with Ayla Secura, Ion Turret, Cannon Turret, and then 5 Loyalist Volunteers, all with Besh and Connor Nets. This should be a good matchup. We'll see if we can get the R2-D2 to get an ion cannon off this time. Last time we actually saw his back end trigger. So R2-D2 says at the start of the engagement phase, if there is an enemy ship in your rear arc, gain a calculate token. Literally last time we saw that happen almost every time. And they have placed the rocks to the point of, I think he can only put it in that corner or down there. Yeah. Oh, Kenny. I think he's a little over the line. That would be my guess. No, he's right on that line, so he'll get to put the last rock over there. We are running, looks like everybody's running rocks, and probably the exact same setup. Probably would help if I took everything off the screen for you. The nice thing, though, about Ayla Secura, and that's what we got to see last time with her, is it is a focus to purple coordinate. So if Charles wants to actually coordinate with her, which he does quite a bit typically, he basically will essentially be able to coordinate an action after he takes a focus. So R2-D2 is going to get a focus token and a calculate token if he can get people behind him. So this will be a little bit harder because there's only 3 ships. The last list he played had 4. So there's that. Ayla also says, while an enemy ship is in your bullseye, if in your bullseye performs an attack, if the defender is friendly and at range 0 to 2, the defender may change 1 blank result to a eyeball result. The probability of that triggering is pretty much null and void. I think here, if I remember right, yeah, Neonub comes to us with that you may gain after you gain a stress token. If there is an enemy ship in your front arc at range 0 to 1, you may remove that stress token. So that opens his dial up quite a bit to be able to do some crazy maneuvers. We see Charles will set up in a block formation with his loyalist, trying to probably figure out where he wants to get first engagement at. And I think it kind of depends on if he gets set up to be jousted by Tommy or not. The one advantage that he will have if Tommy does come in and joust is being able to run that R2-D2 behind and kind of block a lot of the shots. So hopefully those guys will not get off their advanced protons. But I would look for a little bit of a Psych J. I would look for a little bit of some caginess, especially with that Leia on there. Yeah, I don't know why you didn't get the notification. Maybe because I started the stream 10 minutes ago. Maybe that's why. No big deal. They haven't even started other than setting up. Oh, I should gave Charles first player. So Charles's big plan is typically he wants to get those everybody behind so he can drop counter nets on them, and then calling up with R2-D2 and kind of hold them with that ion cannon. If he can get Poe, or I think Poe is the most expensive in that list, so he probably won't be able to. Poe or Neonum to be able to get all shots from all of those loyalists, that's probably his best bet. And I think what we'll do is we're going to see here whether, who takes the bait, right? Is he going to put Poe really far out? What is he going to kind of do, with that avenue? I think Leia has to be, for Leia to trigger, I think they have to have a range. Now I got to look. I can't remember anymore. After a friendly ship reveals a style, you may spend a force and reduce the difficulty. So, all right. I did not know that. So there is not a range with Leia. It looks like we have Poe setting up on the far right side. We have Neonub in the middle, and Covenel is going to be at the back. Covenel can pretty much just play KG and not do a whole lot if Covenel doesn't want to. Did he? I don't know how did he deploy Psych J on his on Wednesday. Yeah, Charles actually bought all the ships to run this list, which is funny because Charles is usually a scum player, and him diving into Republic, he's actually diving into Republic pretty hard here. I don't even own 5 V-Wings, and I own everything for Republic for the most part. So I think I even have 5 or 6 torrents. One of them I think I got gifted and it's kind of broken, but I pretty much have like everything. I can run 5 Jedi. For whatever reason I bought into Republic pretty hardcore, but I do only have 2 Adas and I do only have 2 Adas and 2 V-Wings at this time. So now that they're back in the stock, I could probably go ahead and get one more. The Adas, I don't know if I need 4 Adas ever. Like, I just don't know if I guess technically you can run them now. I think you can run 5 of them, maybe. We'll have to see. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look it up. You can not run 5. You can only run 4 of them. I doubt I'll own 4 Adas, so I'm probably going to stick with the 3 and call it a day. Yeah, so okay, so he had R2-D2 in the front. Yeah, that would be a mistake. Definitely would be a mistake because R2-D2 is just going to do nothing but get in the way. And for those of you who don't know, the Besh upgrade is the one that allows for a primary attack, you can spend your luck and change 1 blank or focus to a hit. So personally, I think that's pretty good. I would have liked to see that go down to 0 points as well. But I guess making it 0 points would mean you would never, ever in your life run the other upgrade. Nobody would run it. I do like this Poe. I do immensely like this Poe. Yesterday we played on the stream. We played on the stream New Hope, and I believe it was Psych J versus Charles, and they played two rebel lists against each other. So next Thursday, if you all want, we're streaming next Thursday. We do our community games where anybody can sign up. You can do exclamation point. I don't know why. What is it? I say this every time and I don't remember. It's exclamation point stream sign up. There we go. And it'll put it in the chat for everyone. If you want to sign up and fly on stream, I mean, we don't have a league right now because there's enough other leagues that we really don't do it. But if you had a league game you want to stream, we would probably do it if you guys did it on Thursday nights. I stream quite a bit. I stream quite a bit of the games on Thursday for any actual league play that we have. So it kind of all just depends, on what leagues we're in or anything like that. So, but you can sign up, and if we have enough interest, we will stream those as well. This week or next week's challenge is going to be I6 and I5s. Originally, I said we were going to do all I6s, and then I looked at how many I6s there are, and essentially it would be like a Vader versus like a wedge type list, and it wasn't worth doing just I6s. So we're gonna open it up to 3 ships max, I5s and I6s. So if you want to run Kylo Ren and Von Reg, you can do it. Can't have more than 3 ships. So and yes, I'm torn between whether I run my my Vader list that I have for this, or if I run if I decide to run FOs. All right, looks like they're going to start. And we have opening engagement. Charles is just going to go very minimally forward. I assume they'll all take focuses. There's good old R2-D2 coming in behind. Covenel doing the same thing. Says, I'm going to go very slow. We'll see what we do. Yep. It's the churn of the ones. Everybody going one forward. All right. And back the dials. Super exciting round. Now, one of the things I had thought about doing before is running synced laser cannon on Covenel. So Covenel is a little expensive if you put Leia on her. But so let's just drop Leia for a second, right? Because if you want synced laser cannon, you have to drop Leia. So if you drop Leia, you put synced laser cannon on, you can actually run C-3PO. And you can use Covenel. And that actually saves you some points. And if you don't want the red coordinate, you can run TAC Officer. And you now have a synced laser cannon, heroic R4 astromech, C-3PO, and tactical officer. Covenel. Still 1 point cheaper than putting just Leia on. I thought that would be interesting. I don't know if it works or not, honestly. So I think it does, but I don't know. We get to I think it would be I do think it's strong. You could also run it on like one of those logistics divisionists or whatever they call them, like the lower initiative ones. It still fits on those. There is also, if you want to run 2 of them, there is also GA97, and that gives you a calculate. Now you don't get the coordinate calculate, action, because like with C-3PO, you get to do a coordinate, and then you get a free calculate token. So it's like a dual action, essentially, right? You can also run GA97 if you want, and you don't even have to use GA97's ability. You could just say, I just want that calculate on my bar. And I think, let's see here. I'm going to delete this guy's list a minute. since we're still in. Oh, I better open betting too. Should I open betting? I don't know. And I'll go ahead and open betting. Maybe. Maybe if it works. Something went wrong, it said. There you go, Charles. You get all my credits. Okay, so we'll go back since they're still. You could run, yeah. So you have that logistics divisionist. And again, I don't know how good this would be, but I mean, you could run 4 of these things with sync laser cannons. Now, again, not all of them are going to be able to calculate, right? I mean, that just isn't a thing. I don't know if they have any other crew that lets them calculate. And you were saying, oh, put Noddin in there. All right, all right. Put Noddin in there. Yep. Then you could put tactical officer on there. You still got 3 points left, and if you wanted to. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how good it would be. Um, yeah, you could put Corsella on there too. Yep, you could put a bunch of different things on. I don't know what other ones would be like super good, but because I don't think any of the other ones give you a calculate ability. But those were just kind of if you had a gunner slot, it'd be different, but you don't. Um, but I don't know. I think that this would be a benefit too, right? Yeah. So you pull this off with Corcel. There you go. So you have one. You would have one GA-97 with synced laser cannons. Um, you wouldn't have heroic on all of them. That's the only issue you would have. But you could run one GA-97 R4, all the others with R4 and synced laser cannons, one with C3PO tactical, one with Corsella, and then one with just synced laser cannons R4. So it comes in at 198 points. You got 2 points to play with. So we do see Poe's going to go around the board. Not a big surprise there. I will say if Tommy isn't too careful, Charles could technically move up pretty quickly on Covenel. And then if Nia, if Jesus, Nia Nub tries to come in and flank next turn, you could just drop all of those, some of those counter nets, do something like that to try to catch them. And, you got R2D2 right there. I don't know. I think Covenel has to either churn out, but again, it all depends because Charles will have to commit to that board edge. But I think those. So what do those stupid things have? Do they have a 5 straight on them? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, they do have a 5 straight on them, and then they have a 2 K churn to turn around if they need it. Right. Question is can R2D2 keep up? Question is whether R2D2 wants to keep up though. See that? There you go. That's probably what Tommy's banking on. Nope. There you go. See, there's Charles is going to be moving in after Covenel. So that's how close they are with the ones. So unfortunately, R2D2 is not going to keep up, is my guess. Yep. And then there's no way Neonub's going to be able to grab or to come in hard enough to get more than a range 3 shot. They'll still get a range 3 shot. And then the question becomes is, how does he handle, that? Yeah, I don't think you can bank with that one, Charles. Yeah, there you go. And I guess you could. You might not hit that rock, but it'd be pretty bloody close for it. Too bad these things didn't have like dual, like you could either target lock and then barrel roll or target lock then boost. That would be pretty awesome. Okay, so now we know where range 3 is. So now the question is whether Covenel backs up, right? Because we saw it go 1 the other turn. I think Covenel could back up and maybe get out of range, but that's if he guessed Charles was going to do that. And where does our little old R2D2? Nope, he's just coming in. Yeah, he can't. He has stress. I don't remember why Charles has stress. I'll be honest. I don't know. Yeah, so he can only move the 2 forward because of that stupid stress. Um, and then Covenel saying, "Nope, I'm getting out of there." Now the sad thing is that will allow for those V wings to chase her, which could create somewhat of a bump train, depending on how fast Charles comes in over there. And too bad Covenel did not have bombs. And there's Poe. Poe gonna go through there. I do wonder. I mean, Neonub still has to be careful because if he gets too close, even behind, they're gonna drop counter nets. You know, especially if Charles can call the move he makes. That Tommy could be facing it down. So he's gonna start with R2D2. Nothing. There's no way he has anything. And I'm guessing all of his blue and yellows. Well, nope. Okay, it does have it. Wow. So Covenel did not get out of the race there. And you only get 2 dice there, buddy. It will be a 2-on-3 though. And do you spend your target lock? Yep. 2 hits. And Covenel swelled the focus. Not take any damage. Now we got blue shooting. And there we go. There's hit crit. These things, these V-Wings are silly consistent. Silly consistent with it. I can see Charles is happy. Charles loves this list. Like this this has been like Charles's favorite list he's ran in a while. All right, there we go. We have 1 shield gone. Not a big deal for Covenel. But Covenel's got 3 more shots coming in. And spend that target lock. In fairness, if Tommy, yep, 2 evades, no big deal. If Tommy did not know that was going to happen, then he will definitely know for next time. Yep, spend the target lock. Don't even have to re-roll automatically. All right, 2 more shields. We got 1 more shot coming in from green. Unfortunately, none of these are range 1. And we have 1 crit and a hit. Ooh, and that crit goes through. And what is it? Let's look. Console fire. I don't know. Probably won't matter if Covenel decides to take the decides to fix the crit after she moves, but it is definitely not looking super good for Covenel. And because Charles gets to move first, that's the only other issue too, right, with Covenel. um, is I don't think you can reverse enough to get out of that. Maybe you can. You could try a reverse. Does it have a 2 reverse or is it only a 1 reverse? Yeah, see, there are only 1 reverses, so that would put them. Oh, I can't hover over it. You could probably get away with it. I think if red goes in straight, so if I'm Charles, my red's going to go in straight to prevent that one backwards. And because I think that's the only way. My guess is Covenel will spend Leia right. Will spend the Leia charge and do like a 4 straight to try to get it out of there. Give her time to reset back up. She could also do like a 3 bank, right? And go in towards the rocks. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but she could go in towards the rocks. That would also somewhat prevent some of the shots. Because Charles just does, his red and green are just not going to have the clearance room for it, you know. And nobody cares about R2D2. R2D2's been ineffective. Yeah, see, and Charles doesn't have those astromechs on there, so you can actually run the that R4 astromech on these little things, and all their 1 maneuvers become blue, and they're like insanely versatile, like just off the charts in versatile then. So Charles cannot do the 1 bank with them. It's going to have to be a 2 to clear that stress, or a 2 forward, or a 3 forward, I guess. But yeah, we'll probably will see Nina go around that rock again. Nina has to be careful because there is that. If I'm Charles, and again, I don't know why he has stress. I'm confused by that. I don't remember what move he did last turn. Oh, he must not have cleared it. I bet he did a 3 straight. But if Charles is smart, he'll clear that stress, or at least at minimum, he'll churn in, and then that gives him that option if Neodub comes around to try to ionize him. Now, it's not the best ionize, right? You're not going to ionize into a counter net, but being able to ionize Neodub does prevent and put him in a position where he has to stay there. And we saw last time Charles played this list that essentially he ionized Luke to the point of Luke not doing almost anything, and Luke becoming somewhat ineffective. They'll clear both the stress. They're all going to be a bump train. All the locks are spent. Why did he think a 3 would clear? Yep, so it's going to be nothing but a bump train here. No locks to be had. Ooh, nope, 1 lock to be had. An old lock. But again, depending on what Covenel does will depend on, whether they clear that card up or not. I mean, to some extent, they almost have to. And Charles is going to try to coordinate a lock. A focus token? Oh, yep, there you go. He gets the focus. He's giving the lock to somebody else. Yep, blue. And yes, IJ, I get your there you go. There you go. There is that reverse that you predicted. See, and if he had done the 2 straight instead of the 2 bank with red, he would have blocked that. Maybe it would have had to been a 3, but had it been a 2 or 3, he could have blocked that. And that's what I would have done. So this is probably going to be a good time for Covenel. Covenel's going to get that extra dice. Covenel's going to get an action. This turn looks a lot better for Covenel. Yep, and there's Needham going around the rock. Question is whether he boosts in or not. That's the nice thing about these T70s. You can't barrel roll, but you can boost. Taking a target lock. And there you go. There's Poe churning in. Wouldn't be surprised if Poe does a boost right. That's probably what I would do if I were Poe. Yeah, there you go. That seems like the logical play. If I'm Poe, that seems like the logical play. So I guess to get back to the advanced optics, thing, I think Besh is better than advanced optics, and I say that um because of the fact that with the fact that you could take that target lock can be used to re-roll. Oh, did he get him? Oh, he gets a free calculate. He gets a free calculate. Look at that. He don't need it. He does not need it, but he's got a free calculate. But I think I do genuinely think that the whatchamacallit is better. Oh no. Heroic. Oh, he doesn't have heroic on him. No heroic. All right, now we see if Covenel can delete one of those ships. Again, I think that advanced optics is not as good as this Besh personally, because that Besh allows you, if you're at range 1, you could just spend your lock to re-roll all the dice, or you can spend it to get one hit. It's whatever you want. All right, going into pink, range 1, and we see 2 hits and a crit. Pretty good. It is the tyranny of 3 dice, though, so Charles does get the 3 dice. Oh, no, Charles. No, Charles. There's a little bit of revenge. Little bit of revenge. That's not good. He misses console fire. All right. Well, I don't know what that crit was. I don't like that. Now, I'll let it play out and head over in a minute and see what it is, because I don't know what he got for a crit. All right, so green hasn't got nothing. Red, I'll have nobody. No. You red ain't got nobody. What is he doing? Why is he putting the thing on it? Charles, you can't use them. Like, they don't even go to those ships. All right, let's see if Pink has a shot. Yep, Pink's got a range 1 shot. So, um, yeah, Psych J, they must have. I don't have the dice thing up, but he took it. It looks like he took another damage for it. So, Charles going into Covenel, 3 dice. Oh, doesn't even need the lock. Just 3 hits. One's going through no matter what. Nope, just one going through. Covenel's still alive. If Charles can take Covenel off the board without any damage coming into him, or without losing a ship, that's pretty harsh. All right. It'll be a range 2 shot for yellow, though. Two hits. Don't even need the stupid clock. All right. And 1 evade. Takes 1 more. Believe that gives us 1 health left. Yep. We have 1 health left. Can this take it off the board? 2 hits. All right, they got to get natties. We got to get some natties. Come on, Covenel. We want to see you live. See you live. Oh, got that focus, though. You got to focus. Bend your focus. Stay alive. We got to see we got to get a game here. So now Charles knows that ship can back up and didn't, because he didn't block it. So now the question becomes is if Charles is going to try to ensure Covenel can't back up again. Because Covenel can just back up one more time. And it will not be affected by those counter nets yet. So because I don't know if you go in, I don't know what you see. The problem is Green's stress. Green was not stressed. Green could just do the 2K churn. And that's what I would do. Is a 2K churn. And yeah, I would drop, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you're gonna drop a counter net. Poe's gonna just avoid it, really. But yeah, I would probably start churning in. You could take your green, start going around that rock. Reg can shoot forward, boost in around that rock. You know, it will not be great, but it would put you with the ability to start facing down Poe. Only issue you're gonna have is Poe, if Poe gets that range 1 shot, which Poe's pretty much guaranteed. If you go in on Poe, Poe is almost guaranteed to try and take one of those off the board this turn. You know what? I bet I can't even hop in their Discord. Oh, Charles. Yeah, I don't see them in a table. Like everybody was messaging me. I didn't answer anybody's messages. I'm gonna give me 1 quick second. I'm gonna hop over and ask a question. Or I'm not, because the channel is locked. Oh well. It's funny, I could see their locked channel, but I can't get in it. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. If you leave yellow and blue there, I don't know. The problem is Covenel's got those 4 dice at range 1. So Covenel's still pretty dirty or pretty deadly at range 1. Probably can't take a ship off the board completely, but the question is do you leave one of them behind to try to clean up that mess? And if you do leave it behind, is Poe just going to come in and eat it alive between Poe and Covenel? Probably. Because unfortunately here, Green does not have the ability to do a turnaround maneuver, so Green has to get out of the way. Has to. Yeah, I don't think you drop the counter net, though. Oh, look how close that is. It does clear the stress, so it does go around. So he is going to go in on Poe, which is probably the smart move, because at some point you have to start getting other points. Even if you take Covenel off the board, it's still 56 points only. And Poe does not like to die. If I were Charles, I would boost in and target lock. That's what I would do with Green. But we'll see. You could just technically here you could just target lock. Nope, he is going to do the boost in. Yep. Yeah. Again, Poe could just creepily creep in there, but I guess then if you're just going to offer Green up as bait, so be it, right? All right, Charles, what are you doing with the rest of your swarm? Your wannabe swarm? Oh, R2D2 gonna come in there. We'll see probably a coordinate. And that Ayla Sakura, even at that point level, is still pretty tight. Um, Giving red the target lock. I'm wagering red is doing a 4K. Then is my guess. That way, in case Covenel tries to come, he'll be right there. Um, oh, it's a 2K, which means Pink will do a 2K, and I don't know if you're Pink, you do a 4K though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would go farther out. No, Pink's just gonna go forward, I guess. All right, Pink's going forward. Well, whatever that crit was. Yep. Blue get clearing that 2K. And yellow just comes in and bumps. Charles is trying to say, hey, the only thing you can do is a backwards maneuver, which I would not be surprised if Covenel did that as well. Seeing right there with the yellow, I probably would not have tried to do a turnaround maneuver. I probably would have just gone forward. And nope. So Charles got the bump. Covenel thought she could clear it. Is that a 3? Yep. He's going to keep his Leia. Going to keep his Leia. You almost have to. So now the good news is it's only red and yellow. You don't get to take yellow off the board. So now the question becomes is how fast did Poe go? Because if Poe went fast enough, Poe might be able to try to take yellow off the board. But Poe's going to have to go pretty bloody fast. Set up the counter net kill. Yeah, but his ships would have flew through the counter nets. Yep. And see, and I think that's a range 2 into Neonub. So I don't know. Neonub barrel rolling. I mean, it'll give him the extra dice on R2D2, but then gives R2D2 a free calculate. This way he doesn't get the free calculate. He already has the target lock. Yeah, no free calculate. It will be sad if he doesn't do that. All right. What do we got Poe doing? Oh, he caught him with a bump. Oh no. Oh no. No, that's definitely not good for Poe. Oh. Oh. That has got to be close. Oh, it's M. Man, it's a nub. Oof. Oof. Yeah, Charles the Hero Krayt Cup. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's funny because him and I were talking about Republic lists, and I was like, hey, we should fly these lists. Yep, no free calculate. Sorry, R2D2. Not that you need it. You get 1 dice, you know. Yeah, you don't need it. Now we see Poe does not get his advanced protons to get off this turn. Man, and he would have been able to boost target lock that yellow one, which could have cleared him before he took Covenel out. Because I'm wagering Covenel has to come off the board this turn. There's just no way you're going to survive 2 range 1 shot. Yep. All right, going to R2D2. Oh no, is his wings open too? Oh, that's a sad Poe. That's a saddie. All right. Well, 2 dice into R2D2. Nope, not getting it. So, don't even need to roll. Here's where it could hurt a little bit. This could definitely hurt. At least R2D2's full health. All right. Well, that's definitely not good. That is not a good advanced sensors. Or advanced proton. That's a lot better. So we have 3 hits and a crit. Charles needs to get the 1 to withhold the crit. And he gets the 1, so it's just shields. Saves himself health, half points, which is good. And allows him to keep that focus because he is now able to do some stuff with R2D2 there. So. And Psych J, if Charles is the hero of Krayt Cup, we can't tell him. His head'll explode. And I see 2 hits. Spend the force for 3 hits. Get 2 evades, so we see 1 shield. And again, those V-Wings are pretty dope. They really are. All right. So we got Charles. I don't know which one is he's using, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah, it's range 1. And spends your target lock for hit crit. Let's see, Covenel, can you live? Covenel still lives. She's stubborn. Stubborn as all get out. All right. Another one, range 1 shot. Crit, just spend it, and that's a dead Covenel. Goodbye. Have a nice time, Covenel. That is sad, though. I was kind of hoping Covenel would live another turn. Oh, well. And it's a direct hit, too. Just to add insult to injury. Question is what would this card be? Yeah, I won't flip it. It would be nice to know what that card is. All right, so now we got blue shooting back. Blue will take the range 3 into Neonum. Hit crit. Oh my god, Charles. You're just shooting fire tonight. And 1 shield on Neonub. Definitely not the end of the world at all. And you got green. Green's going to be the next one. Green can shoot into Neonub too. No. Use your... No, Charles. No. Yep, there you go. Use green first. Definitely use green first. All right, 1 hit. And 1 evade. No problem. All right, now you can use your R2D2. I would assume your ion turret cannon. It'll be a range 1. Or do you go into Poe? I don't know. Do you go into Poe? Do you go into Poe? Man. 2 can go 1 banking around that rock. Just sit there. Nope. All right, he is going to take the range one into, probably the smarter choice in the long run because you get the 4 dice, but oof, that's not good. All right, just 2 hits and only one goes through, so no ion for you, sir. So that's definitely that's definitely better for Tommy there. Tommy needed that break. Because this now allows Neatnub to be able to utilize stuff he needs to do to be able to get rid to try to take some of these down. Problem is so last time we played, all three, me, John, and Charles, all are running somewhat swarm list. So and we struggled. Charles is the only one that didn't struggle the last round. This round, Charles, that this list is doing a pretty good job. And the nice part about this list is because the way Krayt Cup works is you get to bring all your things. If he doesn't want to bring Ayla Sakura, he could just look at this list and say, you know what, I want all the R4s on there instead. Because I think Ayla comes in at 14 points. So you could drop Ayla Sakura and add R4s to each of those, right? I mean, and that frees up, that's 10 points. You still have 4 points left with it. You could then add bombs to R2D2 if you want. You could put excuse me. You could be cheeky and put afterburners on R2D2, which I think is effing hilarious. You also have stealth device or a shield upgrade. Probably in this case, you just put a shield upgrade on them, give them an extra health. But there's so many things you can do with R2D2. Counter that's with delayed fuses. No. I guess it gives you the ability to fly through them. It's like Jade, but no. That would be horrible. That would be like the worst. That would be like the worst thing. Oh my god. Ugh. Ugh. I don't know. Maybe it's good. I'm sad we haven't seen a counter net drop at all. And we're probably not going to get one. I mean, I don't know if does yellow, maybe, you know what? Yellow should drop a counter net is my recommendation to Charles would have been maybe yellow drops that counter net now. I think, yep. Okay, there you go. So, okay, he read my mind. I think you want to do that here to prevent the inevitable 4K maybe. I don't know if it affects either of Poe or not, but really, what do you have to lose, And hard twos needs to get in there to block. That's really what he needs to do. Okay. I do not know that I would have done that in that order. I guess let's see what blue does, and then judgy, not Chris. And in fairness, Charles has got the winning record here, not me. But this type of list we've been playing around with once they drop points. Yeah, who are you coordinating? All right. Red's getting a focus. Green gonna bump. It does clear the stress at least, though. Probably not the end of the world if green does that. Hi, hon. How are you?
Hello.
That's my daughter. We don't usually stream on Friday nights, so my kids are all wondering where the heck I went. Pink just taking a focus. Yeah, blue going in there. So Charles opted to move R2D2 first in an effort to make sure that coordinate gets off. So I'm not playing. My teammate's playing. Charles is playing. And Charles is winning right now. Not by a lot, but Charles is winning.
Go, Charles.
There you go. When you listen to this later, Charles, my daughter is rooting for you. So I don't like that choice with yellow at all. I don't like that choice. And see, there you go. Now you got Poe coming in or Neonub coming in there at range 1. I don't know. You will if they don't delete blue this turn. Um, if blue doesn't get deleted this turn, yeah, flip that dial. There you go. Oh, and it clears. Oh no. Oh no. That's a dead blue. That would be my guess. Or a dead R2D2. Does he? Do you go into R2D2 then and just try to take R2D2 off the board to get rid of that coordinate? You might. I don't know, because the problem becomes is if you don't take blue off the board, blue's dropping that next counter net. And green and blue can somewhat gum up the works. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. Green doing what green did though, unfortunately, that does hurt a little bit. And he is going to take that target lock. Yep, and take it right into blue. Ugh. Well, R2's thing will trigger. He's going to get a free calculate. God, I love that. You know what? Nobody run. I've never seen R2D2 really ran. Like, and Charles has ran. And this time he's procced on like 2 or 3 times. It's just amazing. Oh, he's gonna go after. He took the target lock on blue, but he's gonna go after. Okay, there you go. So why would you target lock blue, not R2D2? That's what you were gonna do. All right, he's just taking the range 1. He's saving his. Oh no, he's gonna have to spend his target lock anyway. Yes, yep. Reroll your. Yep, might as well. I mean, save your now. I would re-roll it. That's just me though. Oh, all right. Well, he made the better move. Now the question is whether you spend it. See, now you have to spend it. Now you're putting. I mean, I guess he's only getting it 1 shot back, but all right, 4 hits. Oh no, no, no! Not even have to use his advanced protons. Oh man. Oh, Charles, that's a bummer. Well, that fixes the that fixes the need to worry about that counter net. That counter net is not coming. It is one pissed off Poe. All right. Going in range 1 into R2D2. Still has 5 health left, so depending on crits. Ooh! Oh no! 2 hits and 2 crits. Oh man. Charles, you have to get you have to be able to use that calculate or get a green die. You got to get something. Yeah, I just think that was a harsh move to try to use a focused target. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense with Poe because you don't have any damage on him, but all right, you gonna roll or not gonna roll, Charles? I'm super confused what Charles is doing. Now, see, I still have Charles connected, so I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. I can't get into the chat. I can't get into the chat. I have no idea what they're talking about. I can't get into the chat. All right. What do we have here? We have a fuel leak. Oh, yeah. His piercing hull while you defend. If you are not critically damaged, change 1 crit to a hit. All right. So only 1 crit got through. Not a big deal. It's a fuel leak though. That's still not good. But I mean, in fairness, R2D2, you're not long for the world anyway. He's gonna shoot back. Ion cannon turret. Oh, oof. Just 2 again. And gets a 1, so just 1 more damage on Neonub. It will be shields down though, and that will give green a shot because green won't have Poe. So that will give green an uncontested or an unmodded 2 dice shot or 3 dice shot. So that's still pretty good. We could see some damage go through here. Or not. Never mind. We get nothing. Charles's dice is giving up the ghost. You think R2D2 survives for 2 more rounds? Maybe. That is always the possibility. All right. Now you got to figure out how to get R2D2, I think, out of that mess. Maybe a 3 forward. I don't know if you bother to even fix the crit, I don't think you bother to fix the crit. I don't know. The problem he has is unless Reg can get the bump on Poe, if Poe bumps R2D2, it's not the best situation for him. Yeah, I mean, R2D2 is not stressed. He could probably do a 2 hard right. No, that won't clear. Nah, that did it. Probably going to hit the rock. I mean, he might clear it, but probability would tell me he's not. I'd have to re-angle it to see it. I mean, you could technically just go forward and rotate your cannon out the back. Yep. Oh, go left. Yeah, you could. You could, but I don't know how wide of a net that's going to cast. Again, it depends on if you can block both Poe and Neonub. The problem is so green. If green goes in there to block Neonub, and red goes in there to block Poe, you have to almost hope red can get the block on both. Otherwise, one of them's getting a range 1 shot, and red's already damaged. So it is only 1 shield, but taking another 4 dice shot is probably not what red wants to do. And Poe and them are just so deadly like that. Yeah, so if I'm Charles, I probably throw R2D2 straight forward, rotate my art. Unless he doesn't want the shot. And then if you can get green to block Poe, that almost is that gives you that option of Neonub not getting that turn, because the green has a higher probability of blocking both of them. Maybe not, can't guarantee it, but This turn is not going to be good for Charles. His mini swarm is starting to fall apart. Um, Losing blue, not being able to drop that counter net is not good. That definitely hurts this turn. And he has 2 ships that are way out of arc, not getting shots. You know, if he had a vulture swarm, you just fly right onto the damn rocks. You wouldn't have a problem. Yep. So there you go. So R2D2 does go forward. Now we'll see if he coordinates or rotates his cannon. Yep. So he is going to do the rotate, and I think because again the probability of him, I mean it is what it is. If Neonub tries to turn in and take him out, so be it. Poe has to do a blue maneuver to clear. Yep, he'll probably get a free calculate no matter what. Depends on how fast they go. Yep, see, and there's green. And if I'm him, I leave green right there. Yep, take a focus. Hope you catch both of those ships. My guess is Poe will scoot around him. But I'm not 100% sure if Poe's going to be able to scoot around. I don't see Neonub having any other way. My guess is he probably got Neonub. I mean, Neonub it's not good to get caught behind that green counter net, but if Poe does hopscotch, then at least it's one less shot green's going to take, and green can drop a counter net and will not die. And if you get him just right, and R2D2 can actually do a damn thing this turn with his ion cannon, then Neonub could get ionized and then hit the second counter net. Oh my god. All the ion. Oh, and so he's going into block Poe with that red. Yep. He is going all into block. Yep, there's Neonub not getting the clear. Definitely not a good turn for him. There's Poe doing nothing but getting stressed, but they will be able to take. There's a probability of being able to take red off the board this turn, unfortunately. I know. All right, we got Poe going in for the range 1 shot. It is an unmodded shot, though, so it's not a guarantee that he's going to die. Never mind. Never mind. 2 crits and a hit. Oh, and he gets a predator roll. Oh, man. All right. All right, Red, you got to get some dice here. Okay. All right. So two evades means only 1 shield, and that's not bad. You still have a little bit of life left here. You're gonna take 2 range 1s, though. And that time it did not matter. All the blank outs. That is definitely sad enough. Oh man. Yeah. Oof. 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 Yep. And so now there's going to be counter nets galore. There's going to be a counter net behind red and a counter net on green. Oh, do you ionize? You don't have a target lock R2D? Do you just go into Poe? Yeah, you just go into Poe, I think. Oh, I think no, he's not. He's going to go into me and them. All right. There you go. That will be okay. Well, it's a crit at least. That's at least half points on knee and up. So no, does it not have points on knee and up? All right. I guess not. And pink will spend that target lock. Or 2 blanks. All right. Now we have whatever that color is, red. That's right. Red going in. And I think I probably would have tried to ionize Poe, but I guess I see what he was doing, trying to take Neonub and ensure that Neonub ain't going anywhere. One hit. Doesn't go through. And my guess is that is all she wrote. So we will see a counter net is my guess from green and one from red. I don't know why he won. Especially because if that counter net dropped right on Neonub right there, red can just do his two turnaround move. Actually that won't clear. He'd have to do a 4K. Do his 4K. R2D2 can just go one forward if he wants. Question is does Poe's 4K fit without hitting that ion? I don't know. I'd have to turn it around. Turn the table around. I'm not going to do that. Don't want to make anyone motion sick, but... And we're getting down to the last part. So this game became a lot closer once Charles started losing half points on those things. And not being able to take red off the table definitely is a big effect. Yeah, do you just bump with green? I don't know. I think you bump with green. Bump with green, 4K with red. I have no idea what you're going to do with pink and yellow because R2D2's in the way. You go one forward with R2D2. I guess just have pink and yellow bump. And that rock is just, unfortunately, that rock is just not in a great position. Yeah, move yellow first. Probably. Yeah, I probably Psych J. I think that's probably what you have to do because I don't think unless you move R2D2 too forward and hope that Poe gets stuck there, and then you get the range 2 ion cannon on Poe, do a 4K with pink to clear, and then do a 2 bank in with yellow or a 2 hard. Did it hit him? Does it hit him? Don't tell me that missed him. Okay, it does hit. Okay, all right. I feel better. Okay, because I was say I'm pretty sure that would hit him. They're just not laying it for aesthetics. I see. That's I was to say the same thing too. Like logically, it should hit him. I don't know. I don't like this map with counter nets. You can't actually see the ridges. Yeah, because logically that corner should hit him. Man, could you imagine these things with proxy mines on them? Ugh. All right, so he is moving his R2D2 slow. Use his coordinate. Give somebody a target lock. Yep, you can coordinate anybody you want. Anybody you want. All right, you're going to give the target lock to green. Green's going to take a target lock on Neonub. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. All right. Okay. What? Damn it, Green. Why would no? Charles. No. Oh. Oh, that sucks. Oh, Charles, that sucks. Oh. Well, bye, Green. I bet he thought that that would not clear. That's my guess. He thought that was honestly not going to clear. Well, Charles, I'll down my scotch for you. How about that? I don't have Glenlivet 14 year, but I did tell Tom if he wanted to troll Charles to send us a bottle of Glenlivet's 14 year. I mean, Charles hates that stuff. You can also send it to me. Or a 12-year bottle of Macallan. I'll take that too. Oof. What pink? Oh no, pink. No. Yep, see now pink's not gonna get a shot. Man. Oh well. Yep, there's yellow. Slowly going in. Good news is Charles might still get the bump on Poe. Well, you get the bump on Neonub. Hey, Neonub would have 100% hit that cloud there. Yep. Man. Could have had tons of ionization. All right, well, we'll see. Charles, we'll see how much damage this green's going to get. 2 hits. Oh, and Predator reroll. 2 hits and a crit. Well, green. Have any? No. 1 crit to go through, 2. Oh, it's a direct hit. That is the ultimate punishment, Charles. That is the ultimate punishment. Oh, man. Oh, Charles. What did he dial in with that green? 1 hard, too. Ugh. All right, R2D2. Let's see if we can ionize a Poe here. That would be nice. Can we get an ionization on a Poe? We could get 3. So we're going to at least get 1 damage on Poe. Oh. Excuse me. Ah, yes. There we go. Or did he go into Neodub? Who did he go into? He went into Poe, didn't he? Yeah, he went into Poe. Well, that is good news for Charles, though. With Poe being ionized right there, that's pretty good news. No, don't move him. 1 crit and it doesn't seem to matter. So at least next turn is going to be very, very good for Charles. He's going to have 3 ships, 1 hit. And 1 fate. It doesn't matter. Ugh. So Charles should be able to get some damage through next turn. Is their dial got a blue hard? Yep, so you can do a 2 blue hard. And we are down to 7 minutes, so we are getting definitely down to the wire now. Tommy is ahead. Both of them will be ionized. I think, unfortunately, I don't know what you do with R2D2. I don't know. Because that's a tough one. Because technically speaking, with R2D2, if you go around and do a rotate. Neonub's going to get a shot, and I don't know if you want that. Yeah, do you want that? I don't know if you do want that though. He's a 2. He's on 2 health and he has a thing. You're giving up points. I mean, I guess technically you need the points, but I don't know. You couldn't do the hard one or the hard you can do that. If you too hard with pink, that's probably what you should do with pink. Is do it too hard with pink, see where it puts you. You're still not going to be a great position for pink, but you can do the too hard with pink. Clear your stress, do a target lock. Red can then two forward, two. Oh my god, no. All right. Well, at least you clear the stress. Now I want to know what the hell pink's doing. Yep. See, there you go. So that there's pink getting into that. You know, not that it matters as much. Oh, pink's gonna take that freaking counter net next turn. Yeah. See, if I were him, I would not have taken a focus with that. I would have taken a target lock and set myself up for next turn. Yep, take your target lock on Poe. And R2D2 is going into the mix. The question is, do you coordinate? I think you rotate. Yep. I think you just have to. Stupid ions. Hate these ions. There you go. Yep. So now, I mean, that pink does. Pink already hit a target lock. Okay, there you go. Hey, we missed that one. Pink has a target lock. So, all right, let's go into Poe. We'll get Poe first. It's a double mounted shot, so this is nice. Yep. Spend your target lock. You have to. All right. Well, 2 hits, not bad. Ugh. Ugh. All right. At least you stripped them on. Now it's Red's turn. Red is range 1. Oh no, Red. All right. Spend your target lock and re-roll. There you go. 1 hit and 2 crits. Something going through. There we go. There we go. That's that. I think that is half points on Poe there. Is that a direct hit too? Oh no. Oh no. It was a direct hit. Oh no. Well, that is definite half points on Poe. Well, that switches the lead back up. R2D2 shooting into Nina, and it does not matter. Ugh. So the question is, does Poe do a turnaround maneuver? Yeah, you 4K with. Yeah, I would 4K with Nina. I would 100%. I mean, because that guarantees you get a shot on some V wings. Um, it really does. Question is if R2D2 can move fast enough to block the 4K, right? Because he could run with Neonub. I doubt he would do that. That seems a little silly to me, but he could do that. If you're R2D2, can you do a 3 hard? Ugh, it's red. Ugh. I think you have to do a 3 hard. I don't know. That's a tough one. They don't have a boost. Ugh. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I don't know. I think you do that, or you do a 3 bank. Maybe you do the 3 bank, and you know what? That 3 bank might stop the 4K. I would do a 3 bank. There you go. That way you don't have to stress yourself. You could still take your action of some sort. Um, and maybe a target lock or a focus. Maybe a target lock on Poe. I don't know, because it depends if Poe does a turnaround maneuver or not. You know, Post doesn't have. Ugh, Poe doesn't have a target lock. Pink only have 1 health left. Oh no. It did. Hmm. Well, now we have a 1 point game. Yep, there's yellow. I think you take your target lock on Poe and hope Poe doesn't turn around maneuver or runs where you can still get him. I don't know. Yeah, see, that's playing it safe. You're gonna regret that if he does that 4K there. Yep, gonna coordinate. You coordinate yellow or you can coordinate red. I think you coordinate red. Yep. Yeah, I don't think that stops that 4K though. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, he didn't do a 4K. Oh, man, this is not looking good. Oh, what are you taking a Oh, you're taking a focus instead. All right. Well, this is definitely not good for Charles. Ugh. Well, there's Poe. Yeah, you probably go into red. What do we got? We got 2 health left on red. Neither one of them have mods, so I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's checking his bullseye. Oh, man. That's that Ayla Sakura thing. So that says perform after the defender and the friend is friendly and is at range 0 to 2. The defender may change 1 blank result to an eyeball. I don't think that helps. All right. Well, Poe's pissed. 3 hits. Gotta see 2 greens. Yeah, going into red. There goes red. I think that takes care of that game right there. Yep, you take our 2D2 off. You get a reroll. Yep, there's the 2 damage you need anyway. There's a crit. Say goodbye. He only needed 2 anyway, so. Well, folks, I don't know if if yellow even has a shot. Yellow even has a shot. I mean, red would have gotten a shot on Neonub there. And R2D2, they both got initiative killed. All right, all I cared is yellow have a shot. Yep, yellow gets that shot. Well, we can see. Maybe we will get lucky and we'll see a swing. We got 2 hits. Do we get a blank out on Poe? Oh, we got a blank out on Poe. We got a blank out on Poe. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, he loses by 3 points. No, 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 no. Oh, man. Oh, man. What? That is crazy. Yep. So pink, red hitting that counter net, and then that second one hitting that counter net. That did it. Man, that was a good game, though. Good game. So if you're watching this and you want to check out the next Krayt Cup stream, we are streaming tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Central Time. If you're watching us from Australia, you will be able to see us at, I don't know, I think that's like 9 p.m. or something like that. Whatever 14 hours plus 7 a.m. is. Oh, close game. With that being said, we're going to end it for the night. Thank you all for joining us. We will be back tomorrow morning at 7.